everyone else's anxiety. So if everyone's a little bit anxious and other parents around are anxious, this kid will actually get a bit anxious. But invite them in when it's quiet, they can see what's going to happen. And that 5 minutes will really make the next day much smoother. Of course, you'll need to adapt activities, and when you visit the class, that's helpful, but also maybe ask for a few things to be sent up so you can get an idea. The other thing that I think is really important is what I'd call helpful reports. So in this e-zine, I have attached a couple of really good reports that I'd recommend that you use. They're just 3 of my tip sheets. You can get them on my website at www.suelarkey.com. But the first is the summary profile of the student, and the e-zine that I've sent you today talks through how to fill in this summary profile. Student's name, please include any nicknames there, strengths, challenges, things that may trigger a meltdown. And what I've included are the top 10 triggers for meltdowns on the e-zine. This might include making mistakes, losing, not being first, sitting for long periods. So have a little look at that top 10 tips. Behaviours exhibited before. For some of my kids, body posture, the look in their eyes, a whole lot of things. But I'd encourage you to have a look on the tip sheet. That will help you fill it in. Important sensory notes. Again, I've included 10 top causes of sensory meltdowns. This can be their clothes, bells, hand dries, whistles. So have a look at that, and this sheet will help you fill in this one. And then there is a really helpful preparing the classroom for students with ASD. I'd encourage you to have a look at that, and parents maybe have a look and highlight the bits that are relevant to your student. And last but not least, this is from my book Making a Success, but I've put it as a Word document on my website so you can just type in the answers. This is just a 3-page report. I often see these huge files which teachers just don't have time to read, and what I've found over the years, this is an invaluable report. It's nearly like a summary where the kid's up to each year. And I find it really helpful to look back over the year, because sometimes you'll go, oh wow, remember when he needed a grip on his pencil? He's come a long way. It's sort of a nice way to reflect on how far they've come, but sometimes behaviours come and go, or special interests come and go. And I remember one boy, we started to notice a pattern by filling in this. So that's the programming for the individual student. But a lot of this is just yes, no. It's just quick things you'll need to know about the student. So support staff, lots of you have my red and blue books. And look, I'd encourage you when you get your new student to get them out and have another look. There's lots of things in there to help you, because each student you support is very different. Now, I don't want to scare you too much, but I really believe if you don't know who the teacher's going to be for next year, maybe leaving the aide or assistant with the teacher for the first 2 weeks until the classes are settled is really worthwhile. I don't know why schools want to change the teacher and the aide the first day back. I think that's not really fair on anyone. I'd prefer the aides there for the first 2 weeks, get the kids settled, then move. And let's face it, a lot of you don't know your funding anyway. So parents, maybe chat to the school about doing that. The schools I've done it in, it's made a huge difference to a lot calmer start for everyone. The other thing, support staff, just strategies. Remember, you might have had a student last year that you ruled up their page, and this year the student's very capable of that. So be really prepared to be open-minded what supports this student needs. But if you're handing a kid on, can I ask that support staff fill in that profile too? Because I often find what the support staff put is different to the teacher. So it is good to have different people's perspectives on those profiles. And the next one is the families. Now, for families listening, you play a very important role in keeping your child's anxiety down. I would encourage you to have a calendar that shows when they go back to school, any information if you're going to get a haircut before the end of the holidays, really fill in that information in advance. I also think parents need to play a key role in getting the child ready socially. Like I said, taking them to playgrounds, taking them to big shopping centres, that sort of stuff. But also this book, How to Stop Your Words from Bumping. If you've got a child in primary, things like what to do if children won't play with you, what to do if you lose, asking for help in the classroom, waiting on the mat, waiting in line, that is full of some fantastic social stories. And I think developing social skills is a very part of being ready for school and that transition. The other thing I just wanted to touch on, and parents, you might need to do this over the holidays, particularly for my preschoolers starting school. Many preschools today have what we call a play-based curriculum, which means they haven't done a lot of worksheets. Now this is called visual learning, and it's just a whole lot of fantastic worksheets that would be wonderful to do over the school holidays, to just get them used to working from worksheets, because many preschools today with their play-based curriculum don't actually do these sorts of worksheets. And kids on the spectrum, they go to school and they get given these worksheets or workbooks the first day, and if they haven't been exposed to them, they really won't know what to do with them. So I'd encourage you to work on those sorts of skills over the holidays and just keep up that work. Thank you for listening today. Just a reminder, if any of you haven't seen the Temple Grandin DVD, if you're getting a kid with autism in your class next year, this is the movie to watch to prepare yourself. In fact, you can read 100 books, but watching this video would be the most inspiring, inspirational. It gives you so much information on the visual thinking, the routines, the sensory issues of kids on the spectrum. And I just think, brilliant DVD. I mean, grab your tissues, you'll probably cry, but I would say that's one of the best professional developments you can give yourself over the holidays. And let's face it, it's the holidays. You don't want to be reading too much. So maybe watching a video like this called Temple Grandin. If any of you don't know, she was diagnosed with autism. Mother was told to institutionalise her, and she's now considered one of the top 200 influential women in the world for her design of cattle abattoirs. So highly recommend you put that on your must-watch list. Temple Grandin in the DVD. More information on my website. Highly recommend you have a look at that. Thank you for listening today. I wish you all the best for transition, and just a reminder to download those transition reports on my website, which will really give you lots of information and tips and ideas to point you in the right direction. Best of luck with transition.